I completed 6,000 deliveries from DoorDash and Uber Eats, and this is my initial feedback. Don't mind me because I'm driving, so if I don't look at the camera, that's the reason why. So 6,000 deliveries, man. I'm coming up on 2 years, and I've been doing it mostly part-time, and I strive to aim for $2,000 a month plus, so that's about $500 a week. And so far, I love it. To me, it's the perfect supplemental income, which means it's not my primary source of income. It's just additional income that adds to my overall income, and I think it's perfect. This is perfect for my situation, for my current status in life. So an additional $2,000 goes a long way for me, and I imagine it would for anyone, for your average person. So I run a business and I do a couple things, so I'm a busy guy, right? So DoorDash and Uber Eats is a perfect type of job for me. The flexibility is unmatched. Even though I'm capable of being able to make more money if I go to a traditional 9-to-5 job, I just love the flexibility that gig work offers, and the ability to work 24/7. I can literally just log into the app any time of the day, whether it's 3 in the morning or 1 p.m. I have that option. There are prime times to do it, but technically, if you have, which I recommend, signing up for both apps, not just one, Uber Eats and DoorDash. But if you have both, right, you can literally work 24 hours of the whole day by offsetting both apps, right? Because they both have a time limit to where if you maximize 12 hours on one app, it shuts down for a certain amount of time. So in theory, you can do DoorDash for 12 hours, and when you run out of time, do another whole 12 hours on Uber Eats. And I wouldn't recommend it just due to safety reasons, but technically you can work all day, and that's an awesome option to have, especially if you need like emergency money. But the flexibility and the ability to work anytime is unmatched. The pay is okay. Based off my results, I fluctuate from $15 to $25 an hour. And to me, that's all right. Like I said, I don't even really pay attention to how much I make an hour anymore. I just set a daily goal, which is usually $100 a day. And however long it takes me to get that's what I do. Sometimes I make it in a few hours. Sometimes it takes me almost all day. Every day is different. But as you start getting used to your market, and as you start familiarizing yourself with your market, implementing strategies, you'll be in better position to predict how much you can make in an hour, and how much and when you'll make it. So $100 for me, usually, like I said, I make about $15 to $25 an hour. So usually I can make $100 in about 4 to 8 hours, around that time frame. But another thing I like about these gig apps is it pays weekly. So you get paid every Tuesday. versus getting paid every 2 weeks. I think that option's awesome. And also, you have the option to cash out immediately for that comes with the fee. So that's an awesome option. And another awesome option. Sorry, I'm a little stuttering right now because I took a pre-workout, so I'm a little jittery. But so I'm trying to think what else do. So 6,000 deliveries, man. It's been about 2 years. I love the fact that you're in control of your schedule, the schedule. I've literally took a whole summer off, where it's 2 to 3 months, and then once summer was over and I was done hanging out with my son, I got back to it. So the complete control of your schedule is awesome. And like I said, the flexibility is unmatched. That's the best part. So to maximize your earnings, right? I've been doing this for 2 years and just surpassed 6,000 deliveries. What works for me is multi-apping. So I do Uber Eats and DoorDash, and it helps a lot. Because if you think about it, if you're only doing one app, you're limiting your market, you know? You're missing out on all the, if you do DoorDash, you're missing out on all the Uber Eats customers. Not everyone has both apps. Some have their preferences, you know? Some people like Uber Eats as opposed to DoorDash. So why not have both? So you're exposed to both markets. To me, they're basically the same thing. I like DoorDash a little more because they have zones, and so when you do DoorDash, they stick you in a particular zone, and usually they don't send you orders out of your zone. And I think it's about a 10 to 15 mile radius, so you stay in that radius the whole time. Versus Uber Eats, always free game, man. You could be sent to the other side of town more often compared to DoorDash. And so I like using both, right? But to me, it's like I have alter egos. So DoorDash, I'm more I pay attention to my ratings on DoorDash, right? Because there's on DoorDash, there's platinum status, and platinum status, it gives you the ability to log into the app and work immediately. If you're not on that status, you have to schedule, right? And if you're on the platinum status as well, you typically get the better paying orders compared to the other statuses. Now Uber Eats, it doesn't really matter. They do have statuses there, and I haven't hit the higher statuses. But for me, that's where I play my alter ego to where I don't really care. And I'm just being very picky with my orders. So I'm declining until I get like a really high paying order. Versus DoorDash, I'm more, I have to accept more and maintain a acceptance rating over 70%. And to me, I fluctuate from 75 to 85%. So I'm constantly picking and choosing orders strategically. It all balances out. Sometimes I have terrible orders like I'll get like a $5 order for 3 miles, so that's kind of average. That's not too far. I can get that done quick, hopefully. And then I'll get like a $10 order later. And then sometimes if I'm really close to 70% percentile or lower of my acceptance rates, I have to suck it up and accept every order, which is a drag. So usually I like to stay in the 75%, so it gives me more leeway and when it comes to choosing orders. But so to maximize your earnings, I would multi-app. Multi-app is a good strategy, and it's I'm pretty sure a lot of people do it. From when I talk to other people who do gig work, they do it. But if you're not aware of it, I highly recommend it. And so after 6,000 deliveries, I like it, and it's I've been following a lot of new content creators, and they do it full time, and it's pretty impressive to see people make. This guy claims he makes 300 a day, 300 to 500 a day. But if you want to make that much money, man, that's on you, man. That's awesome, right? You can make that much. Like I said earlier, you can work 24 hours of the whole day if you have both apps. But if you want to make that kind of money, you got to put in the time. And for me, that's I don't like it that much, and I don't need that money because I have other sources of income. And to me, the this is awesome part-time work. It's good supplemental income, and I recommend it if you want to get ahead financially. Honestly, if it wasn't for gig work, the business I have now, I give it a lot of credit to gig work, because all that extra income went a long way to building my business, and getting me out of debt, and helping me reach financial independence and financial freedom. So all in all, I love Uber Eats and DoorDash, and it's perfect for just extra income. And that's what I'm concluding to in this video. But I've been following a lot of other content creators, and making it their primary source of income. That's awesome. I'm not knocking it. But the downside of gig apps, not just food deliveries in general, but gig apps in general, like Uber or Lyft or Instacart or TaskRabbit or Spark. You are at the mercy of customers, and sometimes customers aren't honest, and they have an intent to get free food or free product or free ride, and they can literally just lie and file a complaint against you, and you can be I've heard the stories, and I personally got the warnings to where you get deactivated. So doing this full time is doable, and you can it's livable income. I've seen people do it for a decade. That's the longest I've heard for DoorDash. And you just gotta be on your best behavior and follow everything to a T, right? But sometimes you're just a victim of the worst circumstances, and that's where these gig apps are pretty risky. I wouldn't put all my eggs in this basket when it comes to stability and income. And every now and then I do get on DoorDash or Uber Eats to where they say they never received the food, right? So for me, I'm really careful. I make sure I follow the rules, And so that's why I could see that it's possible, but I wouldn't make this like a full career. I think this is a perfect phase to where it carries you from one phase to another phase of life. Like for me, I'm just utilizing this till I establish my business more and I get my content creation going, and to where I'm hitting 6 to 8K a month passively from my businesses, and then I can kind of just put my foot on the brakes on this and not have to do it as much, or not even do it at all. But I think when I hit that goal, I'll still be doing this a little more. Rather than $500, it'll be like $100 to $200 a week, just for like grocery money and just to get me out the house too, and also continue making content about it. As I know, this gig economy will continue to evolve. So this is kind of like a new thing still. It's only been like around a decade that gig apps has been around. So it's really changed the marketplace when it comes to work and employment. So I can't imagine what this will adapt to or innovate to, you know? There's going to be more. And I'm open-minded to joining all, and versus doing the traditional job, you know, the traditional 9 to 5. You know, you have to follow a policy, you have to follow, you know, a schedule, and being managed. This gig work is a way to escape that, you know. And if I highly recommend, if you just want to escape your 9 to 5, gig work is an opportunity to do that. But I wouldn't just quit your career or your job and just take a leap of faith and do gig work. It should be a process, a healthy, strategic process, to where, for me, getting out of debt, having a 6-month emergency fund, and start doing this on the side slowly while doing your job, getting used to it, and then establish a source of income to where it makes close to what you make in your job or surpass it, and then quit that job and then start doing the gig work. And that's what worked for me. So it's a good buffer in transitioning, and that's what worked for me. So doing this for 2 years has gave me a lot of flexibility in life, a lot of options, and yeah, that's but as far as DoorDash versus Uber Eats, I like DoorDash just a little more. But like I said, I have the alter ego one where I'm more taking the initiative and more concerned of my ratings, versus the other one I just don't really care, and I'm choosy and just picking the better orders. Like yesterday, I kept declining everything on Uber Eats, and then I finally got a $32 order for 5 miles. And that made a big difference, because I was kind of like underperforming yesterday, but that actually got me way past my goal in a short amount of time. That's why I like utilizing both apps, to where it gives me options and the flexibility to choose orders while I'm maintaining a standard on DoorDash, and Uber Eats is just a good buffer. But yeah, let me know what you implement, what kind of strategy you implement to maximize your earnings if you're a gig worker, in the comments. Other than that, subscribe, like, and I will see you in the next video.